Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my experience on a movie set, which was Vacation Friends. For this movie I want to give you guys the breakdown of like how I got it, what we went afterwards, like, you know, my aftermath now that it's out a year later. I couldn't really talk about anything beforehand, so now it's exciting to talk about it all afterwards. If we start from the beginning, I had just graduated high school. So I graduated high school in December of 2019. I graduated early. When I graduated, I decided to get a job, and I got a job at the airport for maybe like 2 months because I graduated in December, and there was January, February, and March came around. I ended up getting like severely sick from COVID, so I definitely had to get laid off of work. COVID was just here, so for months on end I was dealing with COVID and trying to break into the industry, and I tried to get like an agent and a manager maybe like 100,000 times. I went to a bunch of seminars, acting classes. I was doing it all during COVID, especially during the summertime. Finally, after just months and months of going to acting classes, I was like, okay, I can start submitting myself to stuff, you know, just seeing like what'll happen. So during the summertime I started submitting heavily to like any auditions that were happening on Actors Access. I remember I like submitted for a bunch of Disney shows, Disney movies, Netflix shows, Netflix movies, and like 2 Hulu shows or Hulu movies. But these are all for like day player roles or like supporting characters, so nothing was like huge or like, you know, set in stone. But then after a while I was like, okay, I don't really have an agent or a manager that can push me out to anything, so I might as well just start submitting to background, because I know you don't need an agent or manager to kind of back you up to be, you know, commissioned for background. I started doing a whole lot of research on background first, where people were saying like being too pretty or being too tall or too whatever doesn't really work for background. And I was like, because I know I'm 5'11", so I was just like, I don't know if this is the smartest decision for me to make as a 18-year-old 5'11" person, because I just turned 18 in December, so I was like, I don't really know. But then after a while I was like, you know what, just submit. Closed mouths don't get fed. You don't know what will happen. So I started submitting to like random jobs, and when you submit, I used project casting. I think I used central casting, and it wasn't open to like new people to join. So like if I submitted to them, they will always ask like, are you with central casting? And I was like, no, I don't really, not able to join, but I would love to, you know, hop on the wave. But I was submitting to a lot of stuff. I was submitting to like Southern castings, all these casting people with networks. I had no idea what they were doing, what they were for. Some of them will tell you the movie, some of them wouldn't. So I submitted to one that was like, if you want to be a wedding guest in a movie, like submit to it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna submit to it. Maybe, I don't know if it was the same day. That's the picture I submitted. And maybe the next day, or maybe like 2 days, I don't really know. I think it might have been hours later. It's really, the process is really fast or like really slow. It just depends. Got back to me and was like, we need you to be at this location at these many times. We're filming this many days. We're gonna be on set for a long time. Are you able to do this? And I was like, of course. Like, it's a movie. Like, I didn't know who it was for, like what it was for. I just knew it was a movie. So I was like, of course I can do it. And mind you, my sister was living in Atlanta at the time. So I was like, of course I can go to Atlanta in the next 2 days, next 3 days. It doesn't matter. So basically after submitting to it, I ended up telling my mom. I didn't even tell her I was submitting to it until afterwards. And she was like, oh, so you just leave it? I ended up telling her what it was for. I still didn't really know what it was for. I think I knew the title of it, but I didn't know who was in it, what was going on, until 2 days. So they sent me the info that I got the job, or I got the booking. 2 days later I was supposed to be in Atlanta, and I lived in Missouri, so that was fast for me. So I just ended up packing all my things in 2 days, and then I went out there. By the time I went out there, fun fact, I spent $300 on luggage because I ended up making like a fast move to Atlanta. I didn't really know I wanted to move to Atlanta. I just kind of did it because I was like, okay, opportunity strikes. It's COVID. You don't really get this opportunity too many times. Maybe it'll be a lot of other opportunities to Atlanta. So I just made a really fast move at 18. You know, you live, you learn, you laugh. So the day that I thought I was supposed to start, which I think was the 27th, got pushed back to the 29th. And so I went to go get my COVID test. And then the day I went to go get my COVID test, they dropped all the information, who was in the movie, what was happening in the movie. They didn't really drop what was happening in the movie, but they kind of gave a little more insight on what was happening. So I found out that it was a John Cena movie with Lil Rel Howery, Yvonne Orji. And then after they gave us that information and where to go and all that, I ended up just doing my own research, and I found other actors that was going to be in it, like other day player roles, just, you know, the bam, the boom. I wanted to know what I was going into set doing and what I was going into set seeing and stuff like that. So I did a lot of research on my own. And then maybe the day I had to, so I was using my sister's car for most of this time. I was on set for about a month. While I was on set, we filmed a lot of things. So I want to start from the first day. The first week, I was a wedding guest. cast. And the first week so as an extra, you go to these tents, like a big stationary type set. So they go and they put you in this stationary area where there's the main cast and all of their like trailers and stuff like that. And then there's the supporting cast and their trailers too. They get trailers too. And then there's the extras. And we get in this tent. It depends on how many extras. For my first set, I was so lucky, which a lot of the older, when I first got on set, a beautiful set of older women and men were like hands-on with me, telling me, oh, like, this is your first set, you're gonna do amazing. Like, they were just being very, very kind and open arms. I feel like as an extras, they were just like, okay, like, it's extra work, you know. They didn't really take themselves too seriously, but at the same time they did, because like, you're on set with a whole bunch of other people that take themselves really seriously and are actors. So it was cool. I praised those beautiful women and men. They were so kind to me. They brought me under their wing because I really didn't know what the heck I was doing, and they were 10 toes. So the first day we got in the tents, they were helping me out a lot with just like my W-2s and just all that stuff because I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of the PAs were very, very helpful with me as well. They're just like, here's the stuff you need to do. I was like, this is like my second day in Atlanta. I don't really know what's happening. The crazy thing was I was the youngest person on set. I was 18 years old and I was the only person who had just moved to Atlanta. So like, all of them were from Atlanta, and I was like, guys, I don't know nothing about this city. I don't know nothing about what's happening. I don't know. I've never been on set in my life. So they were very, very kind to me. So we started off in the tents, and then we had to go to the big area, which is where you guys see me in the blue dress with the slit, or like the blue dress with my leg out. Fun fact, that was my senior year homecoming dress. So like, it was the only dress I had. And when we got to that set, we had to film basically Emily and Marcus coming to what was their wedding. I really have no idea because I've never been to a wedding part like that where you kind of do a ceremony before a wedding. I've never done that in my life. So I thought it was like the reception. So I was like, oh, okay, like we just at the reception. Comes to find out we were at like this wedding ceremony, whatever the heck that is. And while we were there, that's when I found out Lynn Whitfield was on set, and a whole bunch of, it was crazy because it was a whole lot of actors I had seen or I had like just watched previously, maybe a month before or weeks before. So it was really crazy, really weird to see them in the flesh, but I don't think I got any starstruck or anything like that. It was just super dope to see them working in person. I think that was my most exciting part about like being on set, seeing them work, because you see the finished product, but seeing the actual in-between product was dope. So on set, the first week, I wore the blue dress and I was just a wedding guest, like just chilling, doing my wedding guest thing. Thought that was kind of how my story ended. But then one day I was in wardrobe. I think I'm funny now, but when we would get on wardrobe, I would always avoid wardrobe because I was like, I really don't want them to be trying to put me in anything. And I would avoid hair and makeup as well because you would kind of just had to put a mask. And if you weren't gonna be shown on camera, then there was really no reason for you to go to makeup, wardrobe, and hair. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna avoid the camera so that I don't have to go to them. One day when I was like walking past to go, we were on our way home. It was like 3 a.m. Mind you, we were working like 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. shifts, or like 6 to 2. It was like really, we were there really, really late. And we had to be back the next morning. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. But we were on set. I was walking past a wardrobe and a lady was like, hey, what size shoe do you wear? And I was like, oh, I wear an 11. She was like, oh my God, that's great. And she was like, isn't your name Aaliyah? For some reason, the first week of being on set, I was known as the girl with my leg out in the dress. And I'm 5'11", and I had on heels, so I was really tall. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's the girl who had a leg out, you know? That was my thing the first few days on set. And so I guess she knew me from that. And then she came and she was like, oh, like, try on this outfit for me. And so I went to go try on the outfit. She was having me try it on with a few other extras, and we were actually asked like our shoe size beforehand, but I guess from me talking to the people beforehand when they asked me my shoe size or something like that, she was like, okay, come here and try this on. So I went to go try it on. It was a jockey outfit, or my equestrian outfit, which y'all seen in the movie as well. And so I put it on and they were like, you're basically a part of their family now and you're gonna be doing the fox hunt with them. And I was like, a fox hunt? Like, what the heck is that? I was excited because I was like, okay. And it was only like 11 of us on set. So that was even doper because there was nobody there, and we had to be there at like 5 a.m. maybe like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I don't really remember because the sun was not out, so I know it was really early in the morning. So when you're on set, you're not able to get crafty and stuff like that. But that day, I was sneaking crafty too. Like, for some reason, the guy at Crafty, which is, you know, passed me some stuff, so I was sneaking crafty before him. But when this came about, I didn't have to sneak crafty. We were able to go up, and one of the PAs like took me over there and was like, whip her up something. And crafty is not that good, it's just regular food, but you know, I was still happy. I was happy I got to feel like I was a part of something. So then I had to put on our outfits. That was the first day I ever went to the wardrobe. And it was like, hey, we need you to come here, let's do your hair. All they did was put my hair into a ponytail, a low ponytail, as seen, you know, in the film. We were only on set for like 3 or 5 hours, but you got paid the amounts. It was an extra day, so we were getting paid the amount that we got paid every day to be an extra or whatever. But then that day we got paid for, like, you get paid for the time you work. You get paid for overtime, which is always dope. But when you don't go overtime, you still get paid that whole 8 hours, which I think is dope because yes, pay me that whole 8 hours even though I worked 3. So it was a really fast day. We didn't do much. We just stared at the camera and that was it. We didn't stare at the camera, we stared past the camera, but you know, that was the fun part. I got my little close up. I got to see myself. That was super dope. It was fun. I didn't even know there was a whole scene after that because we didn't get to do that. It was the main cast. As you could see when you look past, it was just them. They kind of just, we were gone. And those are actual equestrians. The white women, all of them were equestrians. So then after that scene, we had to come back to do more of the Emily and Marcus. So the indoor was the first scenes we filmed. I filmed all the indoor scenes first. That was like our first merry-go-round. And then we had a day where we filmed the cars. I was driving a car. I was driving an Infiniti, I think. Those were like, I don't know why it was so expensive cars we were driving because the scene was maybe like 3 seconds. Like you can't even see the scene. Anyway, I was driving this super big Infiniti. To this day, I don't know why they let me drive that. And they was like, can you drive? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then yeah, that we only did indoors in the driving scenes. And that was the day that Yvonne waved to me. That's my girl. Even though she don't know me, she my girl. She gonna know one day, like, I fool with you, girl, you fool with me, like, whatever. And then we start filming the outdoor scenes with John Cena. Yeah, that was the first day I seen John Cena. John Cena was like the 3rd week I was on set. So when I seen him, he actually waved at me, asked me how I was doing. He was in front of me when he waved at me, so he was walking in front of me, I was behind him. We had our whole, like, I don't think he remembered me whatsoever, but that's cool. I ain't tripping, nothing like that. So those scenes, it was freezing. I'm telling you, maybe like 5 degrees outside. That's what it felt like. Very inhumane for a girl who had an open slit dress. We had to watch the car crash maybe twice because they had to keep rebuilding it, and then it took hours. So we were filming from like 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. There was one day that they weren't allowed to have us. So when we got stationed inside the country club. All the extras did. There was one day we weren't even allowed to be inside the country club, so we had to sit outside near their little pool. When I tell you, maybe like 11 degrees outside, and I was like, is this like, are you guys okay? Let me just tell you, never again. Probably will never. That was when I knew. I was like, I probably will only do extra work a little few times, see how I can, you know, put my foot in the mud. And that was really what I did. We filmed more scenes, and then there was one night where somebody got COVID. They thought somebody had COVID, and it was a bunch of negative tests, which it was, when I tell you, I wanted to fight everybody on that set. I had never been so upset. It was only I was upset because I had on a slit dress. Me and this dress do not get along now. Like if I see this dress, I'm probably gonna punch it. But all of this is out, and then it was a slit in up to my thigh. So it was maybe 15 degrees. We were out there till like 3 a.m. We were delirious. So it was just a night that was like, oh my God, let's get back in. And we couldn't go inside because they thought one of us had COVID and they didn't want to get their main actor sick. So yeah, and then they ended up Disney ended up calling me, the Disney headquarters, and was like, hey, we know you were close to somebody who had COVID, so we're gonna make you go get tested. We was getting tested every week, every day. It was insane. Every other day. We were getting tested every other day, or every 2 to 3 days. No, every other day, because we were on set most days, so every other day. And the day that they made us go get tested, the people that they thought were near the people with COVID, we all ended up getting negative because none of us had COVID, because of course the test was negative, because somebody wasn't going far enough up the nose. That was part of the actual team. That was just really that. It was nothing deep. It was just the 3rd week we finally went to, is it Blackhead Studios? We ended up doing the scenes where I had on an orange dress. Y'all can't see me in none of them scenes, but it was all the scenes where Marcus is like, I thought I got Kaya pregnant. We just like, oh, okay. And there was a scene where the girl sitting next to me was supposed to be closed up, but they ended up taking out. Thank the Lord, because my eyebrows look horrific during that time. I don't know why I thought my eyebrows looked so good. Like you could not tell me my eyebrows didn't look good back then, but they looked terrific. And I'm glad they really didn't do that to me. Like, cause I would have been dead smack in front of the camera, and I was like, the Lord just knows that was not my time. I had a really good experience because by the wave, which is like the only thing I'm really known for right now, I don't know. But my wave to the camera was actually a day where, that was another day where I got stopped wardrobe because they didn't like the dress I had on, which I thought was whatever, you know what I'm saying? No, actually, me and wardrobe were like this. I really did fool with the wardrobe ladies, because one day when I was on set, one of the wardrobe ladies was like, somebody said something to me about my dress, and another girl was like, the producers like her dress because she's always in front of the camera. And I was like, girl, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Because she was 10 toes. Like, I didn't, you know, she didn't want them fooling with me, and she kind of just, she had my back. I really like her. And then she said something along those lines. That's what I heard, because, you know, a little narcissism takes you a long way. So the day that I got stopped at wardrobe, dreadful day, no, I'm joking, but the day I got stopped by wardrobe, she had came to me and she was just like, oh, let's see if you can, you know, fit this dress. And I was like, I like the dress I had on. Like, I really did like my dress. But I was like, actually, you know what? If she, you know, if she wants me to wear a dress, she likes me, I like her. She has the best interest for my appearance. So then we got the dress, and she put me in this freaking $400 dress, or it, I don't know, somewhere along those lines. She put me in that dress and was like, don't mess it up. Like, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you can fit it. Cause like, she didn't know if I was gonna be able to fit it. She was like, I knew that was gonna look good on you. And then when I was going on to set with the dress, she was like, look at her, I knew that was gonna look good on her, because I was walking with it. That's my girl. She watching this, hey girl. But I really liked wardrobe. They were so kind to me. That was the day we were sitting down. The crazy thing is, I literally was telling my 3 friends that I was with on set, we were all the cousins, and I was like, guys, come sit at this table with me. In the corner, so I was just like, okay, like, we don't know how this will pan out. We don't know where they're gonna be sitting at. I just thought they was gonna be in the middle, so it was gonna be a good shot regardless. Emily and Marcus, which is Laurel and Yvonne, come onto set, and they have to say something. We didn't know what their lines was. We didn't know what they were talking about, because it was kind of like they were whispering, because we were so far away from them. The director, or the producer, Todd Gardner, was like, hey, can you guys turn to the camera, just wave? And we was like, huh? And it was like, Emily's gonna say something to you, and then I'm gonna point at you, and can you guys wave at the camera? And so all of our little happy butts was like, okay. And they was like, can you be really, really happy? Of course, because we already happy that we waving to a camera. Yes, miss ma'am. So he was like, okay, he basically did this thing where he like kind of, I don't know, stumped his foot or did this, and we had to wave. And so when he did that, we all looked to the camera and waved, and so happenly they did a scene where they was like, okay, we're gonna do it where you not waving to Yvonne or Laurel, you're gonna wave at the camera. And we were like, huh? Like, cause he was like, y'all about to get a close-up. We off our butts, we off our booties, because we were extras. 2 days ago we was wedding guests. Like, we don't know what we doing. Like, we do, but only me and the other girl were the ones who did the fox hunt scene, so we didn't know that this was like something that was gonna keep progressing and progressing to a family member. And by the time we turned to the camera, she was like, why did I get so many cousins wave to us? And we waved to her. That was movie magic, guys. That was the day. I don't know why I was about to forget that whole scene, that whole day, because it was some scenes where we only filmed them one day, and that was the fox hunt and the wave to the camera scene. We didn't do that more than one day. And then the other days was the freaking orange dress that I had on, which was like a pencil on me, and then the other dress, which was the blue dress with the slit. We were filming those scenes for a very long time. And we only changed locations once. Well, the 11 people that went to the fox hunt changed locations, but it was like maybe 5 minutes away. The big location switch was going from the country club to the to the Black Ball Studios. I think that's what it's called. Black Hall Studios. That sounds right. Black Hall Studios. So when we went from there to there, that was like our big location switch, and that's when we did the orange dress. I think that was super dope, being on an actual like location, like being at a studio, because like, what? I feel like I was in a Marvel movie. I don't know. It was super big. It was super dope. I didn't feel small for some reason. Like, you know, you get on those sets and you feel small, one, because you're an extra, and two, because a whole lot of other people on there. I didn't feel small being on set. So I think that was the main reason why I kind of just blended in where I fitted in. I got some crafty sometimes. I was sneaking on. No, I was sneaking my, but set is really what you make it as an extra or anybody on set. I think don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't be afraid to know that you're worth, even if you feel like you're worth nothing on set, just know that you are to somebody at some point, at some time. You know, whoever on set, they see you or they don't. Like, you're either gonna be the person who'll be seen, or you're gonna be the person that's not be seen. I'm not saying being extra, because that don't get you far. Yelling, screaming, that don't. I've seen it on set, and I was like, what is she doing? Yeah, I took it as it came. Like, extra work, it was super fun. Got to know some super dope actors. Had a lot of fun talking to the main cast. I'm an actor at the end of the day. The set was super fun, and knowing that if you can be seen on a set like that as doing such a small role, you can be seen doing anything. And I think a lot of people on that set saw my potential and saw what I was worth, and that was super dope. And now look at where freaking Vacation Friends is. It's due for a sequel because they had the biggest 3-day rollout for any movie on streaming services, for any original movie on streaming services in history. So like, thank you guys so much for watching it. Thank you guys so much for enjoying my presence as much as I enjoyed y'all's. And thank you guys for being interested in knowing about Vacation Friends and just how it was being on set, because it was super dope and I felt super loved. The people I was actually hanging out with and the people I was, connecting with, and the aftermath of it has been even better because it's been a whole year and it doesn't feel like it. I'm 19 now, which a lot of y'all think I'm like 25 for some reason. No, but I'm still figuring and learning out the industry. So take your time with me, I'm not here saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not here saying I did this, I did that. I'm just here saying I can't believe I did a movie at 18 and traveled to Atlanta from my small town. Like, I'm a small town girl living in a lonely world, I was just excited to do something so progressive at such a young age, and it's only up from here. It's only up from here. Look at how everything transpired on that set. Some people didn't see me, some people did, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I'm never gonna do extra work again, just because that's not me. Maybe I should be I'll do another video if that's what you guys want. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye.